Hi everyone, welcome back into Primetime TV. Today is a special day. I'm your host, Barbara Marville-Kelly, and I just happen to have a very special guest that's definitely standing in for my husband, Dennis Kelly, Dr. Todd Bodanza. Welcome into the show.
Thanks, Barbara. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I tell you, I'm so excited to have you because you are my chiropractor and have been for the last 3 months.
Yes.
And so I thought we need to get you out there to our audience to see what chiropractic can do for people. Because if you don't know what it might be able to do. And you just might be very happy after you see Dr. Todd. You have a little bit of experience in Florida.
Yeah,
27 years,
yeah.
is it?
Yeah, 27 years, yeah.
Right, right. Yeah. And you're from?
Originally from Massachusetts. Don't hold that against me. I'm a Patriot fan.
And he calls me Bob.
I call him Bob.
Exactly. So you're married, you have kids, any grandkids?
I have 5 grandkids. Yeah.
Oh.
3 children and 5 grandchildren.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And you've been down here in Florida?
I've been here since 95.
Okay.
I've practiced for 27 years. March of 95 I came down.
So what made you go into chiropractic?
I was taking the MCAT to go to medical school. I have a twin brother. So Lois has a sense of humor. There's 2 of me. And he went the chiropractic route, and I was going to get the medical route. And he and I don't do drugs, don't drink, don't smoke, played sports. And I'm like, do I really want to do this the rest of my life? Either I'm going to cut someone or I'm going to give him medication. And I went to go visit him in Georgia. He was going to chiropractic school. He was there about a year longer than I was. Fell in love with it, and that was it. It was my calling. So,
see, you know when it's your calling, too. And when I had my first appointment with you, I thought, I'm at the right place. This was divine intervention. When I answered about getting involved with the little charity that you were doing with that little gal and all, it was just so wonderful. And I love the way you actually introduce chiropractic as well. And we're going to do that today. So if you've never been to a chiropractor, I want you to listen up because we were just talking before the show briefly. I mean, this could be a week-long show, for heaven's sakes, because there's a lot to really engage people with so they understand the whole point. And you brought your bones with you, so we're going to demo that here in a little bit. So we're going to talk about why chiropractic. And I asked you one time, and you gave me the right answer, was, when do you start chiropractic?
I told you at birth.
At birth.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because you get your first subluxation at birth. That's the normal age, the normal birthing process. They grabbing the kid's head, yank, twist, turn, you can miss a line of spine at birth.
See that?
So and my oldest patient I'm taking care of, so my youngest patients were my kids at 2 minutes of age. My wife gave birth, they were washed off, I adjusted my children. It's not as nasty as you think, these YouTube things where they're cracking necks. It's a very, very, very low force technique to get some motion back in the joint because you get your first subluxation. My oldest patient was 98 years old, and I've done everything in between over the past 27 years. And the worst spines I see are the 7-year-old kids who have no pain.
Really?
Yes.
7 years old?
Yep. 7 years old. Some of the worst spines I see are 7-year-old kids.
Is that from all the tumbling and falling?
It's just life.
Just life.
We're not made to walk erect, so the simple task is us standing stresses on our spine, but we do nothing for it because we have no pain.
That's right.
Right. Go ahead.
We were talking about that just before the show. I just learned something just before the show.
Oh, yes.
When you were talking about there are some vertebrae where you don't have pain, but you can have an issue there.
Yeah.
Say that the way you said it to me.
We're talking about the nerves.
The nerves,
so
yes,
I was
yes,
telling
yes.
you, if we cut the top of someone's head off, we're not going to do that. We pull the brain and the cord out. We have all the nerves are attached. These nerves control every cell, tissue, organ, and muscle. Okay, so they control everything, essentially. So we start laying down nerves end on end, we'd be starting here and going 12 miles out. So we have about 12 miles of nerves in our body. So I ask patients all the time, from 0% to 100%, what percent of the nerves you think deal with pain?
I said 100%.
And that's most of my patients say 100%.
Right.
People don't realize 10% of the nerves deal with pain, 90% deal with function. You could have all the problems in the world and not have any pain whatsoever, but how we judge your health? We judge your health by pain every day. So I ask people all the time, when's the last time you brushed your teeth?
Right.
And they say, well, I brushed them this morning. I said, well, you're going to brush them tonight when you go home? They said, yes, I'm going to brush. I brush them at least twice a day. When do your teeth hurt? And they always tell me no. I said, well, why are you brushing your teeth? They don't hurt, don't brush them. Because I always ask, when's the last time you saw a chiropractor? Well, my back doesn't hurt. So you brush your teeth every day, they don't hurt. So why don't you have your back looked at?
You know, there's so much truth to that. And I know I've been a chiropractic patient since I was 19. That's a whole lot of years ago after my first accident. Then I had 2 more accidents after that and a couple of falls. And I'm going to tell you my testimonial in a little bit. But let's talk about some of the things and what you do and let our our viewers, I almost said patients, our viewers out there to
Well, they
really
will be patients,
understand, and
Barb.
hopefully they will be patients, exactly, Bob. So I know pretty much a little bit about chiropractic,
Okay.
and I'm glad to have gotten back into it. I made this a commitment to myself. I took action, and I just, you know how you just have that gut feeling
Yeah.
that you know, your body knows.
Yep.
And after many massages and many chiropractors, I was so glad to come and see you, and the way you described it even today was what I understood way back then.
Yeah.
But you do some different manipulations. I mean, you do, there's a couple of things you do for the disc, right, and cervical?
Well, we have a piece of equipment that deals with disc problems.
Right.
Yeah. Adjustment-wise, if you have a bad disc, all the adjusting world is not going to suck a bad disc back in. Because the thing that people don't realize, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about the little disc in between the joints.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
So the disc itself, after the age of 21, is avascular. There's no blood supply to a disc.
Mm-hmm.
So if you injure the disc doesn't heal.
After 21?
After average age, some people a little bit younger, some people a little older, but average age, 21 years old,
Really?
there's no blood to a disc. So if you injure the disc, it doesn't heal. You break the bone's going to heal. Why? Because there's blood going to the bone. So disc-wise, what you have is what you have. In time, it will get worse. It won't get better.
Right.
Okay, so the whole purpose of chiropractic care, number one thing is, and we'll go back to the disc in a minute, our spine from front to back should be straight as an arrow. And from the side, we should have 3 45-degree curves. When we have proper structure, we have proper function. So when the joints are moving properly, the disc stays healthy, the joint stays healthy. When joints lock up and subluxate, what happens is there's no motion in the joint intersegmentally, that disc can degenerate. And then when the body does is lays down extra bone in the joint, Colostoarthritis. I hear from my patients all the time that they have the normal arthritis for their age. That we're supposed to get arthritis as we get older. And that's not true. Okay? If 90% of the population didn't brush their teeth, everyone you met for the most part would have no teeth. Okay, so the dentist would tell you as you get older, your teeth are supposed to fall out. Well, 90% of the population don't take care of the most important system in the body, which is essentially your nervous system, which is encased in the spine. So you're going to see arthritis constantly because people don't have proper motion in joints.
And they think that that's normal.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, when it really doesn't, you don't want to think that way.
No,
That's-
absolutely not.
Yeah.
So going back to the structure, think of your neck, okay? Your neck's like a banana. Okay, so we have a banana. Take a banana and straighten it. What happens to the fruit inside?
Ooh.
It gets all mushed and compressed, okay?
Yeah.
So then take a curve of your neck. You should have a nice 45-degree curve of your neck, okay? Your cord's the extension of the brain. Your cord goes on in your lower back. Take a curve of your neck where your cord's relaxed and straighten out the neck.
Is that what mine looked like?
Yeah, you had a straight neck.
Yeah.
A lot of people come in. This 7-year-old kids I was talking about earlier, they have a complete reversal of the curve.
That's it, way back.
Yeah, it's completely reversed. So if your neck is in the proper position, your cord's relaxed, you straighten your neck, you stretch out your cord. Okay, his curve is completely reversed. So he has his neck in a complete opposite direction.
Oh my goodness.
So what I tell people all the time, the base of the neck, upper part, base of the neck, upper part, and the mid-back, those nerves go to the heart and lungs. So if I dissect all the tissue, find the nerve that goes to the heart and cut the nerve to the heart, what happens to you?
I think you're going to die.
Your heart stops beating.
Yeah.
Okay? And if I put pressure on the nerve that goes to the heart, can your heart and brain talk at 100%?
No.
No. A weight of a dime on a nerve cuts off proper flow of information by 60%. So what's our body build over health? You think over time? You think it builds health or you think it builds disease?
Disease, of
I
course.
take the word disease.
Dis-ease.
Lack of ease. Things aren't working right. So what do we do as we get older? We start taking pills. So here's the symptom. You take a medication, you cover up the symptom. Quit taking the medication, the symptom's still there. Chiropractic care, the whole purpose is to go after the cause, not chase the symptom. Look, we don't treat, we don't cure anything. The whole purpose is to put the spine back the way it's supposed to be, to allow the body to function and heal the way it's supposed to.
The body's a musical masterpiece.
And the sad thing is 90% of us don't tap into it.
We don't realize it.
Nope, because we're not educated. And look, I have nothing against medicine. It has its place.
No, I understand. Modern medicine
But
does.
everyday living, we shouldn't have to be taking pills.
Exactly, exactly. And the other thing that you're always telling me too is keep moving. Our body's meant to move.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I've been doing that for 3 months. Just so you know, I started with you in January. New year, new me, right? And I was hoping and praying, and sometimes I just thought, oh, you know, I have a little ache here and a little ache there, but it's been a lot of years since I had been to a chiropractor. I lost my last chiropractor. After 3 months, you said that, you showed me right on the x-rays. You re-x-rayed, and there was a significant change in my spine in 3 months, and I'm still healing. So,
And the healing process takes a little over a year.
exactly.
Okay, but we're not going to see you 3 times a week for a whole year. That's why we get acute care. We see between 28 and 36 visits over a 3-month period. Everyone's different, and we take progress zones at the end. We want to see a change.
Exactly.
I had a lady in my office. She had life-threatening asthma, is what she was diagnosed. Did she come and see me because of asthma? No, she didn't come and see me because of asthma. She came and see me because of neck and back hurt. So we go over the whole case history with her, find out she's taking medication. She's been taking medication since birth. She's 49 years when she first started seeing me. She's on a pump and she's on pills, constantly from birth to 49 years of age. She gets into care. She's educated properly. She knows it has nothing to do with pain, because after about a 2-month period, her pain was gone. Now, if educated was about pain, the next thing out of her mouth is, hey, doc, see you later, goodbye, I don't hurt. I'll be back when I hurt. Well, she says the true test comes this weekend. I said, what's going on this weekend? She goes, well, we have a cold front. I said, what's a cold front going to do with it? I'm from Massachusetts. Cold front down here is heaven. That's why we live down here. Have the windows open, everything. My wife gets mad at me, but I love it. She goes, anytime the temperature drops, my asthma flares up. So I told her, stay warm over the weekend, let me know how you do. She comes in Monday with the biggest smile on her face, no flare up. This lady's been in the care now for 12 years, maintenance. Now, we do maintenance care twice a month.
Sure.
We didn't just pull a number out of a hat.
Right.
It takes about 2 weeks for your body, it starts to degenerate. So we want to stay ahead of the game. So she's been coming the past 12 years, two times a week. I just saw her last Friday. And how's your asthma? What asthma? She hasn't touched her pills.
I was just going to say.
She hasn't used her pump in
No
over 12 years she's been in the care. Now, did I treat or cure her asthma? No. We put the spine back to allow the body to work the way it's supposed to work.
That's right.
That's it in a nutshell. The most important thing, 90% of us do nothing for it.
Yeah, and the thing is educating people on chiropractic.
Yeah,
I was
we
a
do
little
that big
nervous. I
time.
mean, I was only 19 when I was with my friend, and we were rear-ended up in Michigan.
Yeah.
And oh boy, did I ever feel that.
Yeah.
I got right in to get chiropractic care because my sister-in-law at the time was going to school, and so she put me in with one of the top guys with Life Chiropractic, which is where you're that's why my body has been through Life Chiropractic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and it's working, and it still is now. I'm down to twice a month.
2 weeks, yeah.
Twice a month, although I miss coming twice a week.
I already tell you can come and say hello. We'll give you a hug.
I know. But honestly, it's been my way of life. I swear by chiropractic because it really did make a difference. And I can't tell you how long it had been since I had been in, since my last accident, and they were all rear-ended, 3 whiplashes in the neck.
Horrible.
Can chiropractic help? I'm a walking example. I'm back on the dance floor. I am exercising, but I do take care of myself. You always said just keep it lightweight, right?
Yeah.
Very, what was the other thing that you said?
Diet and exercise are important. We had that discussion.
Let's talk about that a little bit because it's a total picture, right? It's a total picture that we need to take action. If we're going to go to the chiropractor or do anything in life, you want to have quality of life. It doesn't matter what age you are.
Nope.
And if we can start when we're young, that helps.
Well, that's what dictates our health. What we do when we're younger dictates our health when we get older.
Yes.
What are we doing when we're younger, Barb?
Exactly.
We're busting our butt to make our money.
I know.
What happens when we get older? All the money we made when we were younger goes to our health because we have none. Because we're not educated properly about health.
That's right, and it makes a big difference. And what about families? If you have a family, you want to lead by example, and this is the way to do it. My family is, they might be a little bit late in jumping on board, right? But they are on board, and I have a little grandson, and he knows to take care of himself. And, you know, he'll tell us, that's not good for you. And he won't eat the junk food.
Well, this is what I tell people, too. We talk, because every time I talk to patients, it's always 2 things we talk about, diet and exercise.
Yeah.
And I can help with a tremendous amount of stuff that we have, but it's too difficult.
Of course.
Okay? But diet and exercise are very important. They contribute to health.
Exactly.
The missing piece of the puzzle is what controls it.
Yeah.
What controls all the health and function of your body is your nervous system. Your nervous system is the case in your spine. So your spine is that bony cage that protects your life flow. I tell people all the time, you can build a house without a foundation. Okay, you can put the walls up. There's your diet. You can put your roof on. There's your exercise. What's going to happen to a house without a foundation? It's going to collapse.
Yeah.
Chiropractic care is the foundation that we build on.
Yes.
So with chiropractic care, a healthy lifestyle, eating right, and exercising, that's total health.
Well, I remember that first car accident. I felt so horrible. I felt like my whole body was like vibrating from the nervous system, right?
Yeah. Doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. And so I tell you, so what would be a day like coming in and getting an x-ray with you and then moving forward? You get your x-rays, you get the results, and tell your patients.
What we do is the first 2 visits, we have specials. You can go on the website and find the specials. But first visit, we sit down, we talk, we do a consultation. We go and take pictures. Okay, after the pictures, you're all done for that day. I'm going to look at the films, I'm going to analyze them. We'll get you back as early as tomorrow. The girls will let you know the schedule
And they're
is.
very good at that.
Yeah, and we'll go over the x-rays in detail, explain to you what's going on chiropractically. Okay, then after we give you your first adjustment. And I'm not warned, but I tell people there's 3 things going to happen after adjustment over a period of time. You're going to either feel the same, better, or worse, which pretty much covers everything.
It does.
You feeling the same over time, there's no change. No change, no healing. You're feeling better. It's a change. Your body's healing. The both of us are happy.
Exactly.
Especially your husband.
Exactly.
You're feeling worse. It's a change. Your body's healing. You're not so happy. I am. Why am I happy? Because structurally, we're making correction to the spine that's so used to being in an improper position. We're making that correction.
Yes.
Most of my patients feel worse before they get better.
I did.
I've had patients in the past. They went 25 years ago. Hey, Bill, how long did you go? I went twice. Well, why'd you only go twice? Because I felt worse after an adjustment. So people's common sense, if I'm feeling worse and I'm paying for it, why am I going? It's the doctor's fault for not educating the patient properly. Most of the patients feel worse before they get better.
Well, I felt that too, but it wasn't really horrible. I was just so happy and felt so blessed that I was able to find somebody that knew what they were doing and explained everything, and that's what you do, and you really do care about your patients.
Oh my God, yes. It's a privilege to talk to you guys.
You are so awesome, and your office with Jen.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
And Greg.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I mean, it's like one big happy family.
And don't forget Scott.
Over there.
Scott's the massage therapist.
And I haven't seen Scott.
Oh, he's awesome.
And
he's awesome.
I need to come in and see him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Scott's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's absolutely incredible. Okay, I've got a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about that I want anybody out there that is wondering what they should do, think about this, because some of the common reasons I have here, TMJ. How do you get TMJ? Even going to a dentist, right? You can get TMJ?
Yeah. Well, you can get it from eating, chewing on stuff.
Chewing on stuff.
Car accidents, women get a lot of TMJ.
Yep.
And that's not chiropractic, that's an extra spinal thing that we can actually work on the jaw a little bit. Massage works great with the muscles, and we can actually do some light work to get the joint moving.
Right. And yes, and I've had that done in the past. Tennis elbow, scoliosis, fibromyalgia.
Well, go back to fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, how they diagnose you with fibromyalgia? You got so many trigger points that can come back positive. So then they diagnose you with fibromyalgia and they give you some type of pill for it. Okay, that's a nervous system thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't, once again, we don't treat or cure anything. But we put I've had patients who've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, all their symptoms go away because it's a nervous system problem. The nerves control the muscles. The muscles are ached, they get trigger points, and massage works great with it as well. But chiropractic, look, the bottom line is it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how young you are. Whether you're in pain or out of pain, if you have a spine, it should be looked at. And I tell people all the time, I commend you to come up here and take that first step. Okay, knowledge is power.
It is.
But knowledge is only power, it's followed by action. Once we educate you, if you do nothing, hey, that's your, I'm not going to get mad at you. It's a pleasure meeting you. I'm always here for you. But that's shame on you.
Well, it takes a commitment. And fortunately, I've had that chiropractic experience in the past all my life, ever since I had that first accident at 19. And I was educated at that time, and I knew that it was going to work because it makes sense to me. I mean, this is just common sense. And the other thing is to know that each one of the vertebrae is connected, the nerves and everything are connected to the different parts of the body, so it makes sense if your spine's out.
Most definitely. But we're not educated this way.
No, we're not. We're really not. It's a matter of being proactive, being accountable, and looking into it. And let's take a look at what the last couple of years has done. Let's talk about one of the #1 things that leads to dis-ease and, in many times, premature death: stress. What does stress do to the spine?
Well, there's several different types of stress. There's physical, chemical, and emotional. Guys are the worst because I didn't pick up anything heavy, doc. My back's killing me. You can throw the spine out from a chemical, emotional stress. Chemical stress is what you put in your system. Emotional stresses, we get stressed. Women, you lose a loved one. My dad died about 3-4 years ago. I could have stayed out of work for months and then carry all that stress. You can cause bones to subluxate and misalign from an emotional type of stress, a chemical type of stress, and then, of course, you hit the physical. Our bodies are not made to walk erect. Our spines aren't designed to take that type of stress. So everything we do day and out stresses our spine.
Every
about
day.
Sleeping. I'm going to tell you, a high percent of people don't sleep right. Everyone loves to sleep on their side. But when you sleep on your side, there's no support for the curves.
That's right.
That's why they hate me at, I got a bed at Sleep Number. I swear, I love them. But they're always trying to go, hey, we get you inside, put the number down. I don't sleep on my side. You need to sleep on your back, and it's got to be as firm as you can get because you support the spine properly.
Of course.
But we sleep 8 hours a night. We're supposed to.
Yeah.
Our bodies heal when we sleep. Do it the right way. We spend all these thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars on houses and tens of thousands on cars, where we don't spend a few $1,000s on a bed, and you're in your bed 1/3 of your life.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm doing better now.
Oh, yes, you are.
I got my pillow underneath my
underneath
legs,
your legs,
and I'm sleeping on my back.
Yeah, you should curve pillow to support the
And
proper structure.
I do sleep on I curve the pillow
It
underneath.
takes a long time.
I know, and I end up flipping over and getting on my side every now and again, and then I flip right back. So it's just a matter of creating that habit.
Well, it's a lifestyle.
21 days creating that habit. But you're right.
It takes a lot longer than that sleeping-wise. Trust me. I have patients still 6, 7 years in my office, and they still have a hard time.
Yeah.
How you doing? Sleep on your back, and of course you don't hear anything, so that answers your question. That's tough. My wife wants to put a flower on my hands because when I lay down and look like I'm in my casket, I don't move.
Does she sleep on her side?
No, she predominantly sleeps on her back. I got her to finally slip over on her back.
That's good. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But how do you know unless you're told?
Yeah, well, why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What else can you share with us as far as car accidents? We have to talk about car accidents. That's one of my worst issues, is being in 3 car accidents and all hit the same way, right from behind.
It doesn't take much.
It doesn't.
I've had a patient a few years ago come in my office and said, Doc, my neck hurts. I said, okay, what happened? He says, I turned my neck to the right. I said, did you jerk your neck? He goes, no, I just got up and looked to my right. My neck it hurt. I said, well, under my breath, I didn't tell him this. That doesn't make any sense. So we did an exam, took pictures, look at the films. Once again, with the curve, supposed to have a nice 45-degree curve, his curve's completely reversed. In the mid part of the neck, C4, 5, 6, bones had so much arthritis in the joint, they're 1 to 2 millimeters from fusing. So what did that tell me? Is that problem new? No. It's been there a while.
It's old.
So he comes the next visit, go over the films, and I'll call him Bill. His name's not Bill. And I said, Bill, you had some type of trauma. He goes, well, doctor, come to think about it, I was in a car accident about 9, 10 years ago. I said, why don't you tell me that yesterday? He goes, well, it's no big deal. Someone bumped me in the parking lot at 5 miles an hour. People don't realize a 5-mile-an-hour fender bender causes 5 Gs of force to the neck, completely reverse the curve. So he got in a car accident. He goes, Doc, I got in an accident. They paid for my car. I made money. I was able to put a new stereo in my car. It was a great accident. I got a new stereo out of the deal. Now 10 years later, 9 years later, he turns his neck hurts. His thought process is the pain showed up, my problem just showed up. And I said, x-rays don't lie if you read them properly. I said, you did this 10 years ago from the car accident.
Right.
Completely reversed the curve. You had no pain. You did nothing for it. One day you turn, the pain shows up, now you think the problem's there. I said, your neck is so bad, if you took care of it 9, 10 years ago, you wouldn't have the problem you have today if you saw a chiropractor back then. But you didn't do anything because you had no quote-unquote pain. So car accidents are horrible. And the sad thing is when there's very little damage to the car, people think less damage to the person. Look, less damage to the vehicle, more damage to the person in it. That shot goes somewhere.
Exactly, exactly. And again, it comes from the lack of education.
Yeah.
I just happened to have a family member back in the day when I was like 19 and hit from behind. And you're right about that. It doesn't have to be a high impact.
No, absolutely not.
Because one of my many car accidents was just a bump.
Yeah.
Going very slow. I think we were at a stoplight.
Yeah, that's where a lot of them come.
Yeah.
Cell phones. You didn't have a cell phone back then, right?
Oh, no.
Okay, no. We got a lot of cell phones. People, I hit you, it was on my cell phone.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Something else that I wanted to mention to you, for me, my Medicare covered part of the treatments, too.
We don't have health care in the United States.
I know.
We have sick disease care in the United States. Okay, most insurances, we're like the redhead stepchild.
I know.
Okay?
It shouldn't be
So that's
that
why
way.
we offer the first 2 visits.
Yeah.
I mean, if we charge you for what it costs, it's about $500.
Yeah.
We charge you $47.
Exactly, and it's very affordable to, hey, I know that we're not here to diagnose, treat, or make any kind of cure claims or whatever, but when the body is in alignment, and maybe even isn't in perfect alignment, but if it's on its way back to alignment, right?
Yeah.
Really?
That's some of the things, especially family members. They have the wife, husband, kids coming in, and one of the biggest things they always tell me that none of us are getting sick during the periods of the year where it goes through the whole entire household. So the whole well-being, that's all there is to it. And it's nuts is when you start knowing your body, you know when you're out.
You know, I do. I do. I can tell.
Insane.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. It's just we're not educated properly.
I know. We do need to be educated properly. So for anybody that has a limited range of motion. Is that a reason to come see a chiropractor? Of course. Yeah.
That's where arthritis comes into play. People got to sit there and do an exam, and they say, okay, turn your head to the right, and they're doing this right here. Look at I move great, doc. And then they hold their shoulders, and the head goes about this far and this far. There's no motion in the joint. And that's the number one thing a lot of the wise people, I call them, who are there in age, that's the first thing they notice. They can actually see the car to their left when they're driving.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I was glad I wasn't there when you couldn't see the car to your left.
Yeah, exactly.
Range of motion.
Oh, absolutely. And what about the chronic pain? Why do we get chronic pain in the joints or muscles?
Why? Because the spine's not aligned. Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. We get a headache because I don't go take a pill. I have a twin brother, like I told you earlier. He adjusts me.
Yeah.
I put ice on it. Ice is an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Whenever you're not sure what to do, you're going to cause a lot less problems using ice than you are heat. But people love the heat. Just like the foods we eat. The foods that taste good, we shouldn't be eating. We should be eating the stuff that tastes like dirt. It's better for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The stuff that tastes like dirt.
That's what we should be eating.
That's about it. That is. And even, and also sinusitis. People have, we live in Florida.
Yeah, allergies. Remember, upper thoracics, lower part of the neck, allergies and asthma, as well as heart and lungs.
Allergies and asthma.
And that's the asthmatic patient that she was messed up. She hasn't touched her pills in over 12 years. Bumps in over 12 years. And that's where she was all rotating upper thoracic spine.
See that? And you never know until you actually try chiropractic.
Look, the bottom line is you're always better off with a bone in place than out of place, period.
I know.
And the gripe, well, money's one. Hey, not much I can do. Look, the United States, I was going back to healthcare. We represent 5% of the people on the planet. We consume 75 to 80% of all the drugs produced in the world. The top 10 healthiest countries combined spend less money on healthcare than the United States did. So spending the most money and taking the most drugs means you're ranked number one. USA is ranked number one, where we should be. You know where we're ranked when it comes to total health? We're tied for 37 with Serbia. Because we don't have health care in the United States. We take pills. That's all it's about. It's all about drugs.
I know.
They have its place, but not when it comes to everyday living.
No, not every day. And I tell you, trying chiropractic as, I don't want to say as an option, to me, it's a necessity.
That's the base, like I told you earlier. It's the foundation of the house.
It really is a foundation. It's just like faith. You have a strong foundation of faith.
But think about it. People don't want to do it.
I know.
My brother's father-in-law, he's diabetic. His A1C's to the roof. He takes his pills. Oh, my A1C's great. My pills, my medication's helping. So he continues eating the stuff he shouldn't be eating. Because it's easier to take a pill
I knew you were,
than it is to exercise, eat properly, and get your spine adjusted. That's too darn difficult. People just don't want to spend the time to do it.
I understand. I mean, I was coming over there 2 to 3 times a week, but you're like right close by over there in Trinity. But I was excited, and you're no nonsense. You get right down to the nitty gritty. We come in, we stretch our spine on that cool table, and they didn't have that back in the day when, you know, that moving.
The flexion distraction table.
They didn't have that, so I relaxed that. It actually feels good to do that. And if we're not stretching, and then you come in and boom, 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 and I'm out of there. 5 minutes, that's it.
I can spend a half hour with you, give the worst adjustment in the world. I can spend 5 minutes with you, give the best adjustment. You got life to do. You don't have to be in my office all day long.
Exactly.
And you get up and go and let the body heal.
That's right.
when the healing process comes in. Start getting your spine adjusted.
Well, I'll tell you, I am so happy that I came when I did. My husband's going to be coming in and having that.
I've been holding my breath because I would have been dead already. He's coming, I understand. He's a guy. We're the worst.
I know.
Women take better care. I take care of a lot of women. They take better care of themselves than men do.
Well, he's actually open to it, and so we're gonna.
It's all right. Some people take a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But once again, I don't force you to do anything. I commend you. Get looked at. Whether you get in the care, that's completely up to you afterwards.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's 84, so you can imagine he probably
he's
has.
a baby compared to some of my patients I have.
Really? What's your oldest? 98? Did you say?
98 was the oldest patient.
And that was the one with the asthma?
No, that was another lady.
That's amazing.
Yeah. She was 49, the one with asthma. And there's several of them that had conditions. But once again, I'm not treating the condition.
Right.
You take care of the spine. Everything takes care of itself. The body heals itself.
And it's really comes right down to making choices. I mean, I'll be 74 this year. My husband will be 85 next year. And we're in the last chapter of our lives.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy it.
And I don't want to sit around. I don't want to be...
thrive or survive?
I want to survive and thrive. And I want to live. And I want to be able to be out on the dance floor and run circles around my 9-year-old grandson. And I do sometimes.
Well, I'm sure you do.
And we're still waiting to climb a tree together once we find one.
Good. You watch from the ground. You let him climb. Just in case something happens, you can catch it.
There you go. That's from my doctor. This is my Dr. Bodanza over in Trinity, and I can't tell you how pleased we are, both my husband and I, because I was having some pain, with the last couple of years, let's talk about the last couple of years, the lockdown, all this crazy nonsense with the COVID and everything.
Oh, jeez.
How
Don't get
did
me
the,
started.
what does that do to the spine? And what about the percentage of mental health that has
Oh, God,
increased?
they don't talk about that.
No, they
Not
don't.
just mental health part of it. What about the people committing suicide? How about
exactly.
child molestation, all that stuff that's going on? The cops I take care of, they say it's going through the roof, but they don't talk about that stuff.
No.
Look, the way you keep yourself healthy is be around people.
That's right.
Back in the day when they had leprosy, did they quarantine the healthy people? No, they quarantined the sick people.
Mm-hmm.
And they got everyone to wear masks. Look, your cell needs two things to stay healthy. It needs oxygen, it needs a nerve supply.
Yeah.
We supply the nerve supply, you supply the oxygen.
Exactly.
You can't breathe through a mask. And
No,
it
you
doesn't
can't.
protect you.
You
can smell
can't.
perfume, you don't think a virus is going to go through that? And then after you stay home, you're not around people, your immune system takes a tank. Now when you go out in public, your immune system's suppressed, you're going to get sick.
Do you know I never stayed home?
I didn't miss a single day of work.
I put my mask on, held it out, because I couldn't breathe. I felt like I had done a marathon by the time I went home.
I felt bad for my wife and my kids because they all work at Target and they had to wear masks.
Yeah.
And they can't breathe. They'd come home in a bad mood. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I wore the mask once
Yeah.
because one of my patients wore it and I said, well, do you want me to wear one because you have one on?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd feel comfortable, so I put it on and he adjusted them out the door and I took it off.
So why don't we, talking about that whole thing for the last couple of years, we all know somebody, whether it's a family member or a friend, that has gone down that bunny hole of depression, and they won't come out of it. They don't know what to do. Maybe chiropractic could be the answer to set your body up to heal itself. And to me, I mean, I think that's music to our ears.
Overall well-being.
Overall
I
well-being.
was telling you earlier about the top bone in your neck, your atlas.
Yes.
Okay, research has shown, in 2005 they did research on that bone. It actually decreased a person's blood pressure, adjusting that joint, better than the top two medications combined. It also helps it with insomnia and depression and headaches.
See
Once
that?
again, we're not treating anything, but these symptoms, it's amazing. Everything's stemming back to the nervous system.
It does. It
and
does.
we don't take care of it.
It does. No, we absolutely don't
Because my back and neck don't hurt.
yeah, nothing hurts.
Yeah.
Oh, I must feel great, and then all of a sudden you can't move.
Yeah. Well, think about it. People go to the doctors every day. They feel like $1 million bucks. They have heart disease. They have diabetes. They have cancer. Just because your body's feeling good doesn't mean you're healthy.
I know, and that's what you told me when first thing that I came in, and then we looked at the X-rays, and I knew when I saw my neck straight, I knew I was in trouble. Because I knew you don't want to. I've always had a curve in my neck because I was going to a chiropractor. So
and that's why you sleep on your back, Barb, with the roll into your neck to support that proper curve.
That's right.
And the more you do at home, the better results you're going to get in the office.
And I wasn't doing that.
No.
I am now.
Yeah. It's a lifestyle change.
It is a lifestyle change.
It's a lifestyle choice.
And do you think people don't like change? They just want to keep doing.
Most people don't, and they get comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I told you, they gripe. Oh, once they start going, I got to go the rest of my life.
Right.
It's a money thing, and it's the commitment.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, like, I'll call this guy Bill again. Bill, you're on medication, right? Yeah. How long have you been taking your blood pressure medication? 15 years. How long you have to take that for, Bill? The rest of my life? How's that taking care of your problem, Bill? You just cover up the symptom. And think about the side effects from the medication. I tell people all the time, you go to Walgreens, you get Tylenol, Advil, Aleve, Excedrin, Naproxen, Motrin, Ibuprofen. Some people take it like candy. Those medications, probably prescribed, probably taken, kill 17,000 people per year because of the side effects. So what happens with medication?
Same thing. Same thing. Believe me, I work full time. You know what I do. I do genetic testing for that. And my own husband has had side effects. That's one of the reasons why he's getting off of some of the medications and doing things naturally, which makes more sense. You know, some of the testing that's done, they base it on the average. I'm flipping sides here to this thing where you get, like a doctor will say, well, this is typical for an average 84-year-old. I'm talking about my husband here for just a moment.
Okay.
He's not an average 84-year-old. And so we kind of reanalyze it for somebody that he's just an anomaly for his age, for what he's accomplished in his life. And so the tests, I don't think, are, if they were to take, because there aren't average, healthy 84-year-olds.
No.
The most of them are on drugs.
Well, what's the
and
statistic? You know the statistic out there, people 60 years and older, the percentage of people taking medication? You take 1,000 people 60 years old and throw them in a room, other 1,000 people, 999 some type of pill.
I believe that. I totally believe that. But it doesn't have to be that way. So if somebody is thinking of getting off medications, and we're not suggesting that you do that.
Yeah, that's between you and your dog.
That
has
is
nothing to do with me.
No, we would never ever say that. But if you're looking for more holistic, and I think a lot of us baby boomers are really going down that road. We have for the last 30 years. I mean, since I've been with my husband, and we're a match with wanting to eat healthy, eat your superfoods, get your exercise in, and even during the pandemic and all, exercise. My husband was doing his exercising at home every single day, and that's what keeps him going and keeps his brain, healthy.
When we get older and retire, we become sedentary. Well, you're going to die. You got to stay moving.
That's
so
right.
important.
That's right.
So
We'll never retire.
No.
Never.
No.
You got to stay busy, and you got to be around people. And I'll tell you, it makes a big difference. And when we start getting out after this last couple of years, it was it was like a breath of fresh air.
See, the thing is, it never changed my life.
No.
I didn't change my lifestyle. Nothing changed. Of course, I couldn't go to the gym.
I know.
So I'm in the woods doing bands on the trees and stuff, and I was hating it. But I did something. But
got to do something.
You got to stay active.
Stay active.
Be around people.
Be around people, and laughter. You will not walk into Dr. Bodanza's office without a joke or just, you just keep everybody going.
Part of the healing process is laughter. My wife doesn't think I'm funny, but I do. And my patients laugh. I don't know if they're doing it because they just do it, but that's part of the healing process.
It is.
Most definitely.
It really is, and you're always very encouraging.
But we educate big time.
That's the key, is educating you, because I know there for a while, chiropractors had kind of like a funky reputation.
Well, it's every profession. There's just some people that some are better than others.
Absolutely.
Some people don't, and I used to assume that people would know what a subluxation was.
Right.
Remember I told you about subluxation?
Right.
A subluxation is a misalignment of the joints. That's what we look for in an x-ray. Okay, subluxations create neck pain, headaches, low back pain, sciatica. Subluxations also cause disease, dysfunction, and can take years off of life by causing premature death to every cell, tissue, and organ in the body. I ask 100 people what a heart attack is, they're going to pretty much tell you what a heart attack is. Ask the same 100 people what a subluxation is. And I've had patients who had chiropractic care, never heard the word before. That's what we try to look for, and I don't tell you that's what you got, but that's what we're going to look for, and that's what we correct. To allow the body to work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, I could talk to you for hours of stuff I've seen in 27 years.
Oh my gosh, I guess so.
But it's not me. It's the body doing the way it's supposed to. We unlock the body's potential. I got a woman who couldn't conceive, get pregnant. I had a lady at St. Pete, 44 years old. Did she come and see me? She goes, "You want to get pregnant?" No, not at 44 years old. Her back was killing her. She comes in, we sit down, I go ask her about medication. She doesn't take anything. I said, "How about birth control?" Because women forget about that. It's like, it's like drinking water. Don't think about it. She goes, "No, I don't take birth control." I said, "You married?" She goes, "Yeah. Been married for 24 years. How many kids you have?" "I don't have any kids." "Did you have surgery?" "No." I said, "Well, what's up?" She goes, "I can't have children." I said, "What do you mean you can't have children?" She goes, "I saw 6 different fertility clinics in my 20s. My husband and I did. And they told us, you're never going to have kids, adopt." So for 24 years of life from my husband, the past 24 years, I've had unprotected sex because I can't get pregnant. I said, "Okay, well, you realize the nerves in your lower part of your spine go to the female genitalia, the urinary bladder, the kidney, the colon, the digestive tract. It's not just I have pain in my back and my leg." She goes, "No, I never gave it much thought." So, month and a half, 2 months into care, she's coming in the office under care, and she goes, big smile on her face, "Doc, my back feels great. I should have seen you years ago." I said, "Yeah, you should have, but you're here now, so don't worry about it. You're doing great. Have a good weekend." And she's like you. She's very bubbly. She's got a great personality. She comes in on Monday. It's 5:30 in the evening. I walk in the room, and she's got her head down. She's moping. I said, "What the hell's wrong with you? Bad day at work?" "Doc, I'm pregnant." No, I was excited for her. I'm like, "Oh, my God, this is great." Come on. 24 years of unprotected sex. 6 different fertility clinics told her to adopt. Never took birth control. A month and a half to 2 months into care chiropractic, she conceives with her husband. She's 44. Do you think she wants to have kids and diaper changing at 44? No, that's when the kids are older and you have stuff. So, I saw her for a few more weeks. I don't even know what happened to her after that. But I thought it was amazing. I don't think she was too happy.
I think it's amazing,
too. And
too.
anything different, she was getting adjusted. She wasn't doing anything different.
Well, our body is our temple.
Yeah.
And when it's working in perfect, when everything is working in perfect harmony, that's when the fireworks begin.
Yeah.
That is when we can live an optimal life of good health. Doesn't that just make sense?
Yeah.
I know I don't eat a lot of sugar and haven't for a long, long time. But if I do have some, it makes my heart pitter-patter.
Yeah. Well, you know what they compare the effects of the brain with cocaine and sugar.
No.
Sugar affects the brain identically to cocaine.
Does it really?
Yeah. So
Does it really?
Yeah. So when you're a coke addict, you got to go to the hospital and they get you on pills to get you off, or some type of medication. Someone told me methadone. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on it. But they have to put you in some type of medication to get you off the cocaine. Well, I have people all the time come to my office, they want to quit eating sugar, and you're going cold turkey. And you're going to get lethargic, you're going to get tired, you're going to get headaches, you're going to feel like complete garbage. Why? Because your body's detoxing.
That's right.
So I did that when a guy comes in, Doc, I was having a split headache, I had to drink a Coke. I said, oh my Lord. I said, what happened? He goes, my headache went away. I said, yeah, because you just fed it back sugar. You're having a headache because your body's detoxing.
Yeah.
You got it, and then sugar, it's tough, it's in everything.
Yeah, it is, and reading labels takes forever. But once
Well, if you're reading labels and taking forever, put it back. You shouldn't be reading.
Exactly.
You should be on the outside of the grocery store.
Exactly. Suzanne Summers said that.
Oh, did she?
Yep.
I just know her for Thirst Company.
I had her on a show on HSN, and
okay.
and all her books. That's how you shop, the outside.
Yeah.
Fresh fruits and
Well,
vegetables.
remember,
and,
fruits you should eat, any type of berry is okay.
like the wild blueberries.
Any berry. Any berry is good. Granny Smith apples are good if you have to eat an apple, and grapefruit. Other than that, it's other fruits. Grapes are loaded with sugar.
Loaded with sugar. They are, and people, especially people that are diabetic out there, they've got to watch that too, right?
Strawberries are anti-angiogenic. They help with a lot of cancers too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See?
And you're going to eat meat. You eat grass-fed beef, not grain-fed beef.
That's right. That's what we do.
It's a perfect ratio of omega 3 to 6. And if you're going to eat fish, any wild-caught fish, not any, salmon, halibut, and cod are pretty good to eat.
No farm raised.
It's like people always talk, I used to do talks, and how many people like tilapia? And everyone's raising their hand. It's like the chicken in the sea. 95% of it is grown in China in human excrement.
I know.
That's what you're eating.
I stopped a long time ago.
Vegetables are great. Fortunately, you can't eat potatoes because they're carbs. You got to stay from carbs. I'm Italian, and I love pasta. I probably eat so much more than I should, but I've cut that back off as well. And you try to get sugar out of your diet. It's amazing.
And bread?
How much better you feel.
What about bread?
Bread's horrible. If you have to eat bread once in a while, Ezekiel bread.
Oh, yes.
You can get Ezekiel bread. It's okay.
That's good.
Yeah,
full of seeds, and full of sprouts, and all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
But once again, diet's important.
Yeah,
the exercise is important.
It is.
If you don't have a properly functioning nervous system, does it matter what food you're eating? No. Take all that, throw it out the window. It doesn't matter.
It's true.
This is the most important thing you can do for yourself.
It's all or none.
Yep.
It's all or none. Do you agree? I mean, think about that.
Well, just because you get adjusted doesn't mean you eat like garbage either. You've got to eat better.
Yeah. Don't go eating a 6-layer chocolate cake.
Oh, geez.
Although I can't. I couldn't do that.
I missed lunch. I'm hungry.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh dear.
I'm here for you.
Here. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Too.
Oh, I love this. This is great. I like to educate people.
I know, and that is such key, is educating people and understanding.
Yep.
And that's why I started chiropractic. I mean, how many years ago? I was 19. We were just leaving work, and
But you got in a car accident. If you didn't get in a car accident, you would
accident.
never seen a chiropractor.
I probably wouldn't have.
Because you didn't hurt.
I didn't hurt. It was mainly in my neck that was hurting, the whole whiplash picture and all that.
Yeah.
But I've taken care of myself all these years, and I can touch the floor. I can go right down to the floor, put my palms of the hands on the floor, and I can do it all day long.
Good.
At 74, and I'm going to keep it up.
Awesome.
I love
Bob, you're
being.
awesome, Bob.
I feel awesome. I truly do feel awesome, and it is a matter of choice. You know, again, I hate to go back to the last couple of years, because even though my husband and I are both certified life coaches, even plumbers have leaky pipes. We've had our moments.
Yeah.
We've had our moments, you know, although we are homebodies, because back in the day we did a whole lot of entertainment and this and that and this and that, so we love being home.
Yeah.
So we were ahead of the game there, but there were those days, you know, where, and we don't go out all that much because we love to be home with our Yorkies and our family. We spend, that's it. That's our life. We love that. Yeah, our babies and all. But we do take really good care of ourselves. And what about protein drinks? How do you feel about protein drinks, depending on what kind they are?
Well, I like plant protein more than whey protein. Whey protein is animal. It's much more difficult to digest. Plant protein. So we have protein in our office. It's a plant-based protein.
Okay.
And it's sweet with stevia, not sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, and I practice what I preach. I make a shake every morning with my protein.
Well, you do practice what you preach.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are a walking example. Look at how fit you are.
Oh, well, I can work on it. I can work on it.
And he's humble too.
I'm still trying to grow hair. It's not working.
Well, I think this is really fabulous. We have about 12 minutes remaining, and just to go back over anything that we missed as talking about chiropractic and why anybody should give it a shot, as opposed to other things that could cover up and mask the
Well,
problems.
we started talking about the discs.
Yes,
And chiropractically, when a disc is beyond the point, there's only so much we can do.
yes.
For the first 10 years of practice, when I started, we have a decompression table. You've seen it at my office.
Yes, I have.
So we have the neck and the lower back.
And I hope I don't ever have
No,
to go
you don't
on
want to
that.
be on the table. Oh, I want to get on it. No, you don't want to get on it. But if you have to have an MRI to get on it, okay? Unfortunately, insurance doesn't cover a dime of
I
all this.
understand.
They don't cover anything. But the consultation's free, and you have to have a recent MRI within a year's time. And we do neck and lower back, and we go over and see if you're a candidate. I refuse more people than I accept because they just don't have what the table takes care of. I had a gentleman, put it this way, I had a gentleman come in my office, and he had 2 MRIs. He had one prior to his first surgery, and he had an MRI after his 4th surgery. And I did a laminectomy, and what that
Oh, dear. Ooh.
is this is the bone, you go up and down your spine, all the bones you feel up and down your back, these are the bones you feel, so it's the back, your back end, you're looking this way. This is called the lamina right here, it's part of the bone that makes up the posterior aspect of the canal. I'm not
There
sure
you
if you
go.
guys can see, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
It makes up the posterior aspect of the canal. So what this gentleman had done, he had a laminectomy at L5, they went in again another time, they did L4, they went in again, they did L3, they went in again and did L2.
And what did they do?
They cut the bone out. It's called a laminectomy. So they remove the bone. What that does, it decompresses the joint. So he had the MRI prior to the surgery and after the 4th, and I read them both, and I said, what do you notice? He said, Doc, they sound the same. I said, there is nothing different with your lower back prior to the first surgery and after the 4th surgery. I said, matter of fact, your back's worse because you have granulous tissue. Granulous tissue, scar tissue, it's your normal healing process. It builds up scar tissue. That's what massage is great with as well. I said, your back's worse now than it was, because now you had bone removed, and they can't put it back. I said, so your back's worse after the first surgery than it was prior to the first one. I said, I can still put you on my table, my decompression table. If you had anything fused, I can't put you on the table, but they took the bone out. So the bone, that's not a contraindication to putting you on the table and pulling you. I said, but if you don't mind me asking, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've had 2 people, one with surgery and one without, the one without may get better results. I said, but what's your next option? He goes, well, they want to do surgery number 5. I said, well, you can try the table, or you can go do surgery number 5.
But so what happens? They take the bone out. Does your spine turn to mush?
Well, no, it decompresses the joint. You still have all the bone there. They're just taking a part of the bone out. The spinous is here. They go in there, and they cut this part of the bone right out. Right here. They cut that part of the bone out. So everything's still there, but it decompresses the joint. It gives stuff more area to move. So it's decompressed. It's supposed to help with the symptoms.
But it didn't help?
Well, he felt like garbage after a while, and so he did it. He wound up doing the table. And it's typically 20 visits over a 6-week period. To be specific, it's 28 minutes and 15 seconds on the table. It's 15 minutes of therapy afterwards. You do ice and stem. It's good stuff. So I did a little extra because he had multiple discs, and we're doing the post thing. Okay, you're good to go. Maintenance, tissue degeneration. We see you three times a year, or 3 to 4 times a year. Every 3 to 4 months, you come and get a pull. That's the maintenance on it. I recommend you get into chiropractic care. You can stay here. You go somewhere else. I don't care. If you want the best care, you stay here. But you may have another doctor somewhere else. Continue with the care chiropractic. It keeps the motion in the joint, keeps the disc healthy. So when he was 10 pluses in pain. And I tell people all the time, 1 to 10, 20. I said, okay, cutting off your arm with a rusty saw is a 10. So take it in, because guys are the worst. Women, you got 1 and you're not moving. Us guys are wimps. So he was 10 pluses when he started, and when we were finished with him, I had him down to 1s and 2s, and he was very upset. I knew why he was upset. I want to hear from his own mouth. I said, I'll call him Bill, because Bill's the name I like to use. I said, Bill, why are you so upset? You went from 10 pluses down to 1s and 2s. He said, why didn't someone tell me about this before they cut me 4 times? And I've had a lot of patients who've gone through this table. It's fantastic. We have about 90% in the lower back success, 93% in the neck. And we have both. Insurance doesn't pay a dime, but once again, if you're a candidate, I've had patients, Doc, I'll pay anything, I'll sign anything. Look, if my sister comes in with what you have, my sister's not getting the table, why am I going to put you on it? Because I don't know you? And I refuse people, and they've gone elsewhere and spent twice the amount that we charge and got it done.
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes I don't understand why a lot of things at work aren't covered by insurance. But the thing is how do you want to spend the rest of your life? Living in pain? Or taking the plunge and doing something about it? I did something about it, and it was just divinely guided. I thought, I need to find a good chiropractor, somebody that's close by, somebody that knows what they're talking about. And that my body's going to respond. You know, you've got to have a good rapport, right? I know if you're like me, you're looking for a doctor or a massage therapist that you can relate to. You'll be able to relate to Dr. Bodanza because you can feel his heart. You can feel his heart and his care, the entire office. You walk in there, it's like walking into a family.
Well, that's exactly what it is. But the thing is I don't smile much. And people think I'm intimidating.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, don't confuse passion for intimidation. I love what I do. When I'm mad, I'm very quiet and I'm cleaning. So if you see me cleaning, and I'm not saying a word, stay away from me. But I love what I do. I want you to get it.
Yeah.
We used to do talks that make me walk out with balloons, pink balloons. And I said, I'm really not that intimidating. They made me walk out with these balloons, blah, 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 blah. They make a joke all the time. But no, I'm an open book.
I know you are.
Yeah, I'm an open
and you
book.
say it the way it is.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
No, and that's what I love about it, is you deliver the message the way it's supposed to be delivered so that we understand it. Because if I don't understand something, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I absolutely have to understand it. And it makes sense. And 3 months later, was I a happy guy? I think my mouth dropped when you said, look here, Bob. Look here, Bob. And you actually drew the lines of where it was before, first time I came in.
Yeah, and we compared it afterwards, yeah.
And I mean, it really moved. My spine really moved. And I thought,
correction.
And I had a little concern at first, only because I started going down the bunny hole.
Well, you were talking to me a lot when you were coming in, and I didn't mind, but you were, and I love it because you had concerns. Doc, blah, 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 blah. It's Barb, it's going to take a while. It's going to this is a process. Be fair. It took you, let's say, 30 years to get to this point.
Exactly.
You be fair. You give me 30 years to get you out of it. It's much more fun getting into it. It stinks getting out of it.
Yeah.
Be fair. It's not going to be 30 years.
Right.
That's what we come up with the acute part of care, the 3-month periods. But your body's still healing 9 months after the fact. And you're not impervious to anything. You're not, just because you get adjusted, nothing's ever going to happen to you again.
Right.
But once again, I've been doing it for years. I love it. I can't do. Look, the adjustment, what I do is worse on me than the patient. My spine's worse than most of my patients.
I would guess.
I've been on the table. I'm talking about decompression. I'm a candidate for the table. I've been on
Really?
it. Yes, ma'am.
How long?
And my twin brother, he actually hurt his neck. He's a chiropractor too. And he was working out and he messed his neck up. And like a ding dong, what do? He kept on working out because you had to get the workout in. And now his neck's messed up, and he felt like garbage. He doesn't even take an aspirin. He was taking morphine tablets. That's how bad his pain was. And then he shows me his left tricep. I'm right-handed, he's left-handed, so no, we're identical twins, we're mirror twins. And his left tricep was half the size of his right one. People always say, I have a pinched nerve. No, you don't, because you'd have muscle atrophy. That's when a muscle shrinks. I said, you have a pinched nerve, bud. You need to go get an MRI. Go to the company you send a lot of people to. He goes, well, they're not charging me. I said, well, I'll send you to my people. They don't charge me because I send them a lot of business. That's how it should be. So long story short, I said, I guarantee you have a C6 disc putting pressure against the C7 nerve root, because C7 goes right to the tricep. And I guarantee it's on the left-hand side. Got the MRI back. C6 disc putting pressure against the C7 nerve root on the left. He got into my decompression table for the neck. His tricep came back, and he's doing better.
See that?
Yeah.
I love to hear stories like this, because you don't know unless you give it a shot.
Yep.
You don't know unless you give it a commitment. And it's all about making choices. I want to live the best life I can. I want to be here for a long time to, help serve God and my family. God first. And I know that.
But you want to thrive while you're doing it.
Yes,
you don't want to be miserable.
I do.
That's not living.
Now, I'm a real. You talk about guys being big babies.
Oh
Right?
no, guys, you can't even compare. Guys are the worst. If it was up to men to have kids, this world would go extinct. Period.
I am kind of like that, though. I'm like a little princess when it comes to, I don't feel good. Really, because I'm so used to feeling good all the time. But if I have, one hair out of place or whatever, and it bothers me, and I let it bother me, right? But I do something about it. I'll get moving. We'll get walking, and
You're night and day difference when I first met you, so you did well.
I did do well.
And you're still doing well. So
I'm still doing well. Yeah, exactly. Twice a month. Coming over to Dr. Bodanza's office in Trinity, and we'll go ahead and put up the website real quick. And also, if you want to make an appointment, you can call Jen, talk to Greg. We'll get you in. I never, ever, and I'm so sorry for having to change at the very last minute because of my job, but I'm in and out, and I've never been refused. Oh, I can't get you in. They always get me in, or say, just come by. We'll get you in. We'll get you in.
I would tell you, walk in. If they get mad, they can get mad at me. I'm not spending an hour with you because we have massage therapy. He does our deep tissue massages.
Yeah,
I'm not spending an hour with you, so we can't sit there and do that with his clientele because they're an hour. If I can get you in the office and make someone wait for a couple minutes, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. What is his name? Because I haven't... Scott.
Yeah.
So you have
he's
a
fantastic.
deep tissue. See, that's what my body
Well, he does
needs.
soft if you want to do it, but it's mostly deep tissue.
Yeah, that's what I need. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to come see you. We have less than 2 minutes. Did you wonder what we were going to talk about for an hour?
Well, you know me at my office. I have a big mouth, so no, I figured I'm surprised we're not here for 2 hours.
Well, this is exciting. Anything you want to say as far as recapping, just even a one-liner?
I just appreciate you getting me on here and getting the word out. If I can help one person, that's one extra person that's doing well.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And all you have to do is just call, make an appointment, and come in and talk to the staff, talk to you, and just think about it. How are you feeling today? And again, to go back and recap for the entire hour, we're not here to make any claims on pain or diagnose or to treat and cure. Dr. Bodanza sets the body up for its own success. We were born with the ability to heal ourselves. And honestly, after you've been on this planet, this crazy planet for a while, if you have taken good care of yourself, you're going to have a better chance later on if crisis hits, if you have a fall, if you get in a car accident. This is the man that you want to see, because I've been in 3 car accidents, not to mention I fell on the dance floor.
Was the third a charm? Was the third time a charm?
Oh, I would love to say that it was a charm. That was the worst one.
The third one?
The third one, yeah, it was the third one. I actually had an NDE. I had a near-death experience with that one.
Lord,
so maybe it was a charm because it did something to my brain. I see things woo-woo. No. But anyway, we have just a few seconds remaining, and I want to thank you for coming in and taking the time and giving up your lunch hour.
Oh, no worries. It was worth it.
It was worth it. And thank you for joining us. Remember, age is just a number, and it all comes down to choices and making the commitment. If you're looking to live a better life, especially when you add a few years and you're where I'm at. So thanks for joining us. God bless you. We'll see you next time. Bye now.